Boxers and MMA fighters have always been feared in street fights, as being trained has always made them a dangerous presence. Examples like Nate Diaz, Mike Tyson, and even Gennady Golovkin getting into fights have always gotten fans wondering what exactly goes down when a boxer gets into a dangerous situation. We've seen the answers on the street and even backstage during weigh-ins. If you're feeling this content and haven't already done so, hit the subscribe button with the notification bell. Golovkin versus drunk driver. Gennady Triple G Golovkin, in a 2015 Breakfast Club interview,
we got a special guest in the building.
Gennady Golovkin.
Triple G.
Triple G.
Good
Thanks.
morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
was asked about when he was last in a street fight, and he said that it was back in Russia in 2013. Charlemagne humorously responded, "You fought an Uber driver?" The champion laughed. The situation involved a car and someone Triple G had to defend in the street. Golovkin said this drunk driver was dangerous to kids, and Golovkin had no choice but to protect himself.
You beat up an Uber driver? That was you telling us?
Not the Uber driver,
That what you telling
no. In the Russia.
Oh, it was in Russia?
Yeah, this is crazy.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, got you.
Nate Diaz. The 38-year-old surrendered after a video spread on social media of Diaz choking YouTube personality Rodney Peterson unconscious during a fight in the city's famous Bourbon Street.
Oh, yeah. Big 12 up in there. Oh, yeah, Logan.
In the video, Peterson confronts Diaz as people fight around them. Diaz then gets Peterson into a chokehold before letting him drop to the ground, apparently unconscious. Police said Peterson was found bleeding from the rear of his head. Mike Tyson versus Mitch Green. This one was a 1988 fight over what Don King owed Mitch Green, and this altercation seemed like unfinished business. They had a battle in 1986 where Tyson beat Green by decision. Like all of Mike Tyson's fistfights, the one early last week was quick, gunfighter quick. One punch, they say, a right uppercut to former contender Mitch Green's left eye, which swelled and closed beside a nose suddenly in need of 5 stitches. The novelty was that the fight occurred at 4:30 a.m. on a Harlem street, not exactly the hour at which one would expect to find the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world grappling. Mike Tyson said, "Green hit me in the chest. He was upset. I guess I hit him in the eye. I was nervous. I hadn't had a street fight in 7 years. I was scared." Green sought a rematch as well as legal action. Both were successful. Ultimately, he received only $45,000 for his $25 million claim. When ESPN contacted Green 14 years later, he was broke and still seeking a third opportunity to fight Tyson. Jorge Masvidal versus Leon Edwards. This one's a UFC example between Jorge Masvidal and Leon Edwards, two top-caliber mixed martial artists, with the fighter on the receiving end of the pain being a current UFC welterweight champion. Masvidal, who knocked out Darren Till in the main event just moments earlier, was in the middle of an interview with the UFC ESPN reporter Laura Sanko when Edwards interrupted. Words were exchanged, and Masvidal walked out of the frame to confront Edwards, who earlier in the night bested Gunnar Nelson. "Come over here and say that to my face," Masvidal could be heard saying as he walked away from the interview and toward Edwards.
Glad I got the recipe.
Let's talk about that opening sequence.
If you, hey, come on.
Edwards appeared to be restrained when Masvidal confronted him. Masvidal threw a short combination of punches that seemed to rock Leon back a bit. Here, we saw yet another example of a reason not to mess with Jorge Masvidal, as he can give a two-piece combo with the sauce even when faced with another MMA fighter. And there you go, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button if you'd like to see more boxing and MMA content that will keep you entertained.